As late as last week, Siemens chief Joe Kaeser seemed happy to play the environmental awareness card. But balancing green issues and the realities of business has proven too much of a challenge. After a special meeting on Saturday, Kaeser took to Twitter to say Siemens had to fulfill its contractual obligations. Siemens had to keep its promises and make sure its customers saw it as reliable. And in any case, the Indian conglomerate Adani would build a mine in Australia, with or without Siemens. The Carmichael coal mine will be one of the biggest in the world. Siemens is providing signalling technology for a rail line to transport coal to the coast. The mine will pump out carbon dioxide. Its emissions output is expected to be equivalent to the CO2 produced annually by Malaysia or Austria. Once the coal is burned, it will further add to global warming. Environmentalists are also concerned that it could threaten the Great Barrier Reef. The decision to get involved in the construction of the mine doesn't reflect current realities, environmentalists say. And they warn that protests against Siemens will continue.
For more on this, let's bring in our financial correspondent, Uli Bartz in Frankfurt. Uli, Siemens says that it has contractual obligations to fulfill here. But was this really the only option?
Apparently not. We just heard in the report that Siemens boss, Joe Kaeser, was meeting with his executives and was kind of wavering on this. He actually said that after meeting with Luisa Neubauer, the Fridays for Future activist who's leading the protests here in Germany against Siemens, that he would be rethinking over the weekend. So that sure sounded like there was another option on the table from his point. But in the end, after having met with his co-executives, he decided to be true to the contract that he signed with the Indians on that big Carmichael mine in Australia.
And Uli, it seems like this whole debate it could be quite long-lasting for Siemens, and not just because the fight against climate change is a hot topic these days.
That's right. The activists have already promised to turn up at the annual shareholders meeting, which will be coming up in a couple of weeks. And I don't think this will be limited to the shareholders meeting, to this protest over the mine in Australia. I think the Fridays for Futures are seeing companies like Siemens who try to paint themselves as environmentally aware and astute, but then in the end renege when it comes down to putting the money where the mouth is. And it's expected that you can see these kinds of protests approaching other companies as well. And investors are also getting on board. More and more are actually demanding that the people they trust their money to invest in sustainable projects, climate-friendly ones.
Uli Bartz in Frankfurt, thank you.